What if I told you that the exercise most often recommended for poor leg circulation after 50 may not be giving you the results you expect, and in some cases, may even be slowing your progress? So many older adults keep hearing the same advice again and again. Just walk more. It sounds reasonable. It feels safe. It is simple. And for years, people have believed that walking is the best answer. But the truth is, many people walk every single day and still deal with cold feet, swollen ankles, heavy legs, and that uneasy feeling that their steps are not as steady as they used to be. And after a while, some begin to think, maybe this is just aging. Maybe nothing can really change it. But that is not the full truth. The issue is not always that you are not moving enough, and it is not because your body is beyond help. Very often, the real problem is that you are not using the kind of movement your legs truly need at this stage of life. After 50, the body does not just need more movement. It needs smarter movement, more targeted movement, the kind that activates the muscle system responsible for pushing blood from the legs back up to the heart. And once you understand that missing piece, the way you think about exercise may change completely. In the next part, we will look at why poor leg circulation is not just about cold feet or a little swelling. Poor leg circulation often begins so quietly that many people brush it off. They think it is just colder feet than usual, a little ankle swelling at the end of the day, or legs that feel heavy once in a while. But after 50, these can be early signs that blood is no longer moving as efficiently as it should, and when that happens, the tissues in your legs receive less oxygen, fewer nutrients, and recover more slowly. What makes this more serious is that the problem does not stop at discomfort. When circulation drops, even a small cut may take longer to heal. Tingling and fatigue can show up more easily, and your balance may begin to decline. Little by little, many people do not realize that weak, cold, heavy legs can lead to slower steps, less stable movement, and eventually, a growing fear of falling. And once that fear begins, people often move less. That creates a dangerous cycle. The less you move, the worse circulation becomes. And the worse circulation becomes, the weaker the body feels. So stay with me until the end of this video, because the next parts will show you why walking alone is often not enough, and what actually helps your legs recover and feel stronger again. So many people over 50 have done exactly what they were told to do. For years, walk more. They walk around the house, in the yard, at the park, and they try to stay consistent every day, hoping their feet will feel warmer, their ankles less swollen, and their body stronger. But what frustrates so many people is this. Even after all that effort, the legs still feel heavy, the ankles still puff up, and their steps still do not feel as steady as they should. The reason is simple. Walking, especially the way many older adults naturally walk, is often too gentle. The stride is too short, and the motion depends more on momentum than on strong muscle contraction. In other words, you may be moving, but that does not always mean you are activating the muscle system that pushes blood from your legs back up to your heart. And that is the real key. The body does not just need movement for the sake of movement. It needs the kind of movement that wakes up the calves, the thighs, and the support muscles that help circulation actually improve. That is why so many people walk regularly and still do not notice real progress. It does not mean you are doing everything wrong. It simply means one important piece is missing. If this sounds like you or someone you love, type number 1 in the comments below. In the next part, we will talk about that missing piece, the second heart hidden inside your legs. What very few people are ever clearly told is that inside your legs, there is something like a second heart. And that is not just a clever phrase. It is how many specialists describe the calf muscles. Because every time those muscles contract, they press on the deep veins and help push blood from your legs back up toward your heart. The problem is, after 50, that system often becomes weaker. When you sit too long, move too little, or only do gentle movement that never truly activates the calves, blood can begin to pool in the feet and ankles, and over time, that can lead to heavier legs, more swelling, colder feet, and a growing sense that your steps are not as steady as they once were. This is exactly why so many people assume they are simply tired because of age, when in reality, the pump inside the legs is no longer working efficiently. The good news is, this system can be reawakened, and it can happen with movements that are simple, gentle, and highly effective when done the right way. In the next part, we begin with an exercise that may look almost too easy, but it is the first real step in waking up that second heart. The first exercise on this list is something many people have seen in a hospital or a rehab center, and because of that, they often assume it is too simple to make any real difference. It is called the ankle pump, and all it asks you to do is sit still and gently move your feet up and down. At first glance, it almost looks too small to matter, but that simplicity is exactly why so many people overlook one of the most effective tools for leg circulation after 50. When you pull your toes up toward your shins and then press them back down, your calf muscles contract and release in a steady rhythm, and each one of those contractions acts like a light squeeze on the deep veins in your lower legs, helping push blood that has been pooling in the feet and calves back toward the heart. For people who sit a lot, move less than they used to, or even walk regularly but still deal with swollen ankles, cold feet, or heavy legs by the end of the day, this can be a powerful first step in waking up the body's circulation pump. The movement is very simple. Sit in a sturdy chair with both feet on the floor. Lift your toes while keeping your heels down. Then press your toes down and lift your heels. Move slowly and with control for about 20 to 30 repetitions. You can do it 2 or 3 times a day while watching TV, reading, or after a meal. This is your foundation, and once the calves begin to wake up, the body is ready for the next movement, where the thighs begin to play a bigger role in circulation and mobility. The next movement still sounds very simple, but it targets an area that becomes noticeably weaker in many people after 50, often without them even realizing it. That area is the thighs and the front of the hips. This exercise is called seated leg lifts, and it simply means sitting in a chair, then slowly raising one leg at a time in front of you. Many people look at it and think, that cannot possibly do much. But in truth, it is a very important movement for improving both circulation and everyday mobility. When you lift your leg with control, your quadriceps and hip flexors have to work. These muscle groups do much more than help you walk, climb stairs, or stand up from a chair. They also help compress the larger blood vessels in the upper legs, which supports blood flow back toward the heart. And that matters, because after 50, many people still walk regularly, but their steps become shorter, lighter, and less powerful, which means the thighs no longer get activated the way they used to. That is one reason the legs grow weaker. Standing up becomes harder, and fatigue shows up faster during simple daily movement. The exercise is easy to do. Sit tall, in a sturdy chair with both feet on the floor. Slowly lift one leg out in front of you, keeping the knee as straight as feels comfortable. Hold it for 1 or 2 seconds, then lower it slowly. Do about 10 to 15 repetitions on each side, and later, if you feel stronger, you can add a light ankle weight for more challenge. If this part is helping you, please like the video and share it with someone you care about who is not moving as confidently as before. In the next part, we move into an exercise that combines circulation, calf strength, and balance, all at the same time. The next movement is a very valuable step up because it does more than improve blood flow. It also helps train your legs to respond better in those small, dangerous moments. When you almost lose your balance, this movement is the calf pump walk with support, or more simply, a supported heel raise. You stand behind a chair or lightly hold a countertop, then slowly rise up onto your toes. Hold for a few seconds at the top and lower down with control. That short pause at the top is the most important part because it forces the calf muscles to contract more fully, pushes blood upward through the veins more effectively, and helps your nervous system coordinate better with your body. I remember a very typical case. a woman named Margaret, 72 years old, living in Ohio. She still walked every morning for about 20 minutes, but she often complained that her legs felt heavy, her ankles stayed a little swollen, and most of all, she felt unsteady whenever she stepped up onto the front porch. After she was guided to add this supported heel raise into her daily routine, within a few weeks, she said the biggest change was not that she could walk farther, but that her legs felt more responsive. She stood up with more confidence, felt less nervous when turning, and trusted her body more every time she went outside. And that is the key point. Circulation and balance are not separate problems. When the calves grow stronger, blood flow improves, and the body becomes quicker at protecting itself. In the next part, we move to an exercise that is even more revealing, because standing on just one leg can tell you a lot about your future mobility. The next movement may look very simple, but in geriatric medicine and physical rehabilitation, it is considered a highly meaningful sign of how well the body is functioning. This is the single leg balance hold. Many people think it is just a small exercise, a way to test whether they can still stand steady. But in reality, it reflects something much deeper. It shows how well the ankle, the calf, the hips, the core, and the nervous system are working together to keep you upright. When you stand on one leg, the body is forced to activate many small support muscles continuously, not just once, but moment by moment, to stop you from tipping over. That does more than improve balance. It also keeps the calf muscles engaged for longer, which helps support the return of blood back to the heart. And that is something regular walking often cannot provide, because each leg only carries your body for a brief moment with every step. In medical rehabilitation, single leg standing is often used as a practical marker for fall risk and mobility decline in older adults. Many rehabilitation programs treat it as a foundational exercise because it trains balance, neuromuscular response, and body control all at once. In other words, this is not just about how long you can stand on one foot. It is about how well your body can still organize itself, protect itself, and respond before a dangerous fall happens. To practice it, stand next to a sturdy chair or lightly hold a countertop. Lift one foot a few centimeters off the floor and hold for 20 to 30 seconds. Then switch sides. In the next part, we come to the most powerful movement in the entire list, the one many circulation rehab programs treat as their top tool. And now, we come to the most important movement in this entire list, the standing calf pump hold. In simple terms, you rise up onto your toes and hold for a few seconds at the top. It looks so basic that many people dismiss it immediately. But in circulation rehab, this is one of the most highly valued exercises because it works directly on the second heart in your calves. When you slowly lift your body onto the balls of your feet and pause at the top, your calf muscles contract much more strongly than they do during ordinary walking. That contraction presses on the deep veins in the lower legs, helping push blood back up toward the heart more effectively. And the most important part is the hold. If you simply rise and drop right back down, the pumping effect is much weaker. But when you hold for a few seconds, the circulation system in the legs stays activated long enough to make a real difference. The way to do it is simple. Stand behind a chair or lightly hold a countertop for support. Keep your feet about hip width apart. Slowly rise as high as you safely can onto your toes. Hold for 3 to 5 seconds, then lower down slowly over about 3 seconds. Start with 8 to 10 repetitions and build up gradually as it feels comfortable. This is the kind of movement many people over 50 wish they had learned much earlier. If this number one exercise is something no one has ever clearly explained to you before, type number 2 inches the comments below. In the next part, we will bring everything together and talk about why these small movements can change not just circulation, but also strength, confidence, and daily freedom. What matters most at this point may not be remembering the name of every exercise, but understanding one deeply hopeful truth: many leg problems after 50 are not caused by age alone. They happen because key muscle systems are no longer being activated the right way. When the second heart in the calf stays asleep for too long, when the thighs grow weaker, when balance begins to fade, the body starts sending signals: cold feet, heavy legs, swollen ankles, unsteady steps, and getting tired much faster than before. But the good news is, the body can still respond when you give it the right kind of movement at the right pace. With the right consistency, your legs can improve more than you may think. You do not need intense workouts. You do not need anything complicated. Just a few small movements aimed at the exact biological systems that have started to weaken can help blood flow better, make your steps steadier, and bring back confidence in the way you move. And that may be the most powerful message in this entire video. You do not need to turn back time to feel better. You simply need to begin the right way, starting today. In the next part, we will close with one final reminder, the kind that turns what you learned here from information into a real daily habit. Before we close, there is one thing I truly want you to remember. Your legs do much more than help you move from one place to another. They help you stay independent, they help you stay confident, and they help keep daily life within your own control. When leg circulation begins to decline, what you lose is not only comfort in your feet or ankles. What slowly begins to fade, if nothing changes, is your freedom, your confidence going down the stairs, your ease walking outside, your ability to do simple, ordinary things that are actually precious. But today, you now have something very important in your hands: the right knowledge. You now know that walking more is not always enough. You understand why the calves are called the second heart. You understand why small movements can create big changes. And you understand why starting early is always better than waiting until the body feels noticeably weaker. So after this video, do not try to do everything at once. Just choose one or two movements that feel right for you and begin tomorrow. Go slowly, stay consistent, give your body time to respond, because that kind of gentle consistency is what helps you go farther in the years ahead. If this video helped you see the problem more clearly, subscribe to the channel for more simple, practical, science-based wellness guidance. And please share this video with someone who may need it, because sometimes the right information at the right time can truly change someone's quality of life.
Thank you for watching. If you're looking for reliable ways to stay healthy, remember to subscribe for more senior health tips. Like this video if you care about healthy aging. Take care and see you in the next video.